In a world that's always evolving, where challenges come at the speed of change, resilience isn't just a buzzword, it's the foundation for growth and success. Welcome to Real Resilient Conversations.
Every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we bring you transformative discussions designed to build strength through dialogue. Whether you're a leader aiming to inspire, a team striving to collaborate, or an individual professional seeking growth, Real Resilient Conversations is your guide to thriving in today's dynamic environment.
Our mission is clear: foster emotional resilience, cultivate transparent communication, and empower businesses to adapt with confidence. Through our resilient leadership coaching, we don't just talk about resilience, we live it, lead it, and help you achieve it. When resilience becomes part of your culture, every challenge is an opportunity, every setback a lesson, and every team member a leader in their own right.
Real Resilient Conversations isn't just a show, it's a movement, a mindset, and a community dedicated to helping you and your organization thrive. Tune in every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and see the difference resilience makes. Be part of the movement and join the conversation live. Watch us on Twitch, Real Resilient Convos. Follow us on Facebook, Real Resilient Conversations with Quita. Get inspired on Instagram at Real Resilient Conversations. Catch our videos on YouTube at Real Resilient Conversations. Wherever you are, Resilient Conversations is just a click away.
Real Resilient Conversations, leading by example, building strength one dialogue at a time, because resilience isn't just what we do, it's who we are.
Okay, come on in, come on in, come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Monday, and we are back. Happy July 14th. If you missed us, guess what? It is still time for you to go back and listen in on the last episode from June. You don't want to miss it. It was amazing. We had Adrian the barber on, and now, oh my goodness, today is going to be so fulfilling. So welcome to your mid-month fill-up. If it is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome in. If it is you came on back because you're part of the family, welcome to my R2Cs, my Real Resilient Conversation crew. How much I love and adore you for taking the time out to come on back just to see what great things we have to teach you about your resiliency. So my job, is to make sure that every second and fourth Monday of the month, second and fourth Monday, we are here just for you, just to make sure that you know that we have the tools needed to help you become a more resilient you. So if it's your first time or if it's your 99th time, welcome back. Go ahead and get your snacks, kick your shoes off, get ready to get some great teaching. If it's not for you, it may be for someone else. So I ask, if you don't mind, to go ahead and just like, share, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the share button, because there's so many great things in store for you. So if you're looking on the screen and you're like, who are all these amazing, amazing people? Let me tell you, this is going to be an amazing show. If it is your first time, don't worry. You're here because you're associated with one of these wonderful people. I'm trying to tell you, you're going to want to make sure that you follow if you don't know who they are. So if this is your first time, just hang on tight. Let me show you how we do this. Those of you who are my returnees, let them know how we do. Whenever you hear the term unwritten rules, what do you think that means from a resiliency perspective? Go ahead and put it in the chat. And while you're doing that, I want to introduce my panel of amazing, amazing people. So today's panel is going to be about navigating the unspoken codes of life, work, and identity. So that's where the unwritten rules are. And this is why we have the wonderful people that are here, because they have some background, some some specialties, some things that we are needing in today's society. And so I really want to make sure that you know who they are and explore how unwritten rules really shape personal and professional experiences, especially in the marginalized communities, and how resiliency, awareness, advocacy can help to navigate and challenge some of those hidden expectations and perspectives. So, of course, the one that I have here, the first one that you're going to see is down on the bottom left corner, at least for my screen, and that would be Dr. Mel McGee. She has more than 32 years of experience working for hospitals and hospices and active military and veterans. She's established the Covington McGee Wedding and Christian Counseling Chapel to help those who need counseling. Her goal really is to help people overcome the difficulties through the Christian teachings and values. And because Dr. Mel McGee is the CEO of Covington McGee Christian Counseling, it has allowed her counseling in various departments within the hospitals to say, hey, veterans that are in need of assistance, those that are active duty that are in need of assistance, all the way since 1989. Y'all, I don't want to tell you how old I was in 1989. This is also, just in case you didn't know, this is my family. So I am honored to have Dr. Mel McGee. She's been on multiple certified boards. She's international practitioner of holistic medicine, Alternative American Medicine Association, Military Chaplains Association, American Association for Christian Counselors, National Association of Veteran Affairs Chaplain, Christian Military Watch. I mean, you want to go down the list, you make sure and come see her, because she is right here in San Antonio, Texas. If you are looking for a counseling, you are looking for someone to help guide you in your marriage, in your relationships, in your personal growth, please, 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 you're looking for a therapist, make sure you stop by and see Dr. Mel McGee. Now, moving on, because medical is very important. Now, have a medical background myself. So we have Nurse Anita Kelly. Her passion, of course, is nursing. And if you were to look up the word passion, it would say something along the lines of strong feeling of enthusiasm, excitement about something or doing something. This is who she says she is. And so today's world is about leading people to be, they're training us to be less optimistic. But Miss Anita Kelly says she desires to bring community back to where we can be more self-confident, where we can love ourselves again while developing core values and faith and wellness. And because her passion is to help people understand their wellness, their mind, their body, and their soul, wellness has to be a deliberate and a conscious effort. And so she is here to delve into your health issue holistically and develop bringing joy back into your lives. So that down here in my bottom right, at least on my screen, is Miss Anita Kelly. And of course, because I am an Air Force vet, then it is near and dear to my heart to have Mr. Ron Collins. He is retired Air Force military vet in medicine and education. He is motivated to share life wisdom and, with God's help, reach for goals that may seem insurmountable. Man, let me tell you, I was just quick and to the point, huh? I mean, ladies, y'all was like letting them know. These men was like, this is what it is. Huh? And last but not least, we have Mr. Ty McGee. Mr. Ty, he is, guess what? The office manager. He is the office and building manager, making sure that all of these people have everything that they need in order to be successful. So without further ado, thank you all for joining us. Those in the chat, y'all give them a hand. I got some people over here at IG saying go Air Force. So you already got.
There you go.
Welcome. And of course, I know that you see him on there. My one and only business partner, you got Dr. Roy Sullivan on here. I know that y'all can't see him, but he is always in the background. Today, he is in the foreground. I am so grateful to have him here. So the icebreaker, I want to start. I'm kind of going to go backwards, though. The icebreaker is, what is one unwritten rule that you learned the hard way? You had to learn it the hard way. And how did it shape your thinking? So because I gave Dr. McGee, I went from bottom left all the way to the right. I'm gonna start. Ty, if it's okay, I want to start with you. What's the one unwritten rule that you had to learn the hard way, and how has it shaped your thinking?
I, to be honest, I haven't really into it yet. While I'm still kind of trying out to the world, so I really don't have. I haven't run into a challenge like that yet. But when I get older, I might.
Okay. Okay. I like it. I like transparency and honesty because that's what we are about here. Everybody think, oh, you've been through everything, and sometimes you like, I haven't been there yet. I had a great life. That is a blessing. What about you, Mr. Ron? What would you think would be one of the unwritten rules that you had to learn the hard way?
Um, One of the unwritten rules I had to learn the hard way was, I think, is the unwritten rule that most veterans had to learn upon retirement from the military. I retired from the military at 42 years old, and it was the same age that my father retired out of the military. And when I made that phone call to my dad and I said, Dad, I'm retiring. And my dad said, well, you know what that means? You have more years behind you than you have in front of you.
Wow.
And so it was an epiphany moment because he was telling me basically, you're going to have to be resilient. You're going to have to enjoy the years in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
because the years behind you are behind you. You're going to have to really treasure these years because they're going to be tough. Age isn't for punks, right? So it's an unwritten rule,
There it is.
to enjoy the coming years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Miss Anita, what would you say to that?
Well, I can tell you, I've been thinking about this, and for me, I think it has been the one thing that took the hardest to learn was I don't have to go it alone. So much of me as being a black female in this world of, male dominant and, of color dominance, of non-color dominance, it was just always, thinking that you had to do it, no matter what, you had to do it by yourself. You couldn't
Mm-hmm.
depend on anybody else. And that's a lonely world to be and to not be able to look at someone and say, hey, I need some help.
Mm-hmm. That's a
That,
that's a hard thing too to be able to say that sometime
yeah,
too.
yeah, it was hard.
Mm-hmm. All right, real quick before I come to you, Dr. McGee, over here on Instagram, Ebony said, "Mine is knowing that everybody ain't your friend." And she said she had to learn that the hard way. That's my friend of almost 30 years right there telling you that.
Mhm.
So that's the truth right there. Dr. McGee, what would you think that the unwritten rule that you had to learn the hard way and how's it shaped your thinking?
One of the things is that mental health, grief. When we're thinking about grief, everybody thinks that there's only 5 stages. I want to say there's 500 stages.
Mm-hmm.
Because just because one person grieves this way, another one grieves another way. And so one of the unwritten rules, and anyone sitting down with a counselor, they always seem to think that that counselor is going to be the one to tell you what your problem is. We're
Mhm.
not here for that. We're here to share with you, comfort and empathize with you and sympathize with you. And that's the unwritten rule that I find.
Mm-hmm. Okay, she said, I'm not going to give you all the answers. I'm here to coach you through it, to help you figure it out. I understand that. So, because we are talking about, like I said, the unspoken codes of life, work, identity, understanding who you are, growing your resiliency in today's world. How do you define the unwritten rules in your field or in your community? How do you define it? Because I know each person has a different way of what they define as unwritten rules. And so when you're thinking about that, I'm gonna kind of go a zigzag if that makes it any easier. So, Miss Anita, how would you, in your community or in your field, what would be some of the unwritten rules when it comes to medical?
For my unwritten rule for that would be to say that it's really hard when you're
Oh, did I lose you?
to come back to being a nurse of color. And
Mhm.
it's really been one of those things where you have to go and represent yourself as you, as a nurse, and have be confident in what you do. But more so, I recognize that people of color don't get the recognition of care, and I have gone out there to educate other nurses who have no clue into how to take care of a person of color. So my unwritten rule is to go out there and I'm going to share what I know we need to have done for ourselves, how we need to take care of our hair, how we need to take care of our skin. Just there's so much out there that people just don't know, have no clue. They're going to wash someone's hair and just leave it, willy nilly. And and it's just painful to see somebody, it's like, nope, don't do that, don't touch them. And so
Mhm.
that's been my thing. I go out there and I don't hold back, like just tell them what they need and teach them what they need to know, because otherwise, we don't have anybody out there, taking care of us and
Right.
sharing what we need to be taken care of.
Right. I think that whenever I used to work in the nursing home as a nursing assistant, I seen a lot of that, and it just broke my heart. And I love taking care of my patients, but it broke my heart to see how a lot of our community was being treated, and so
Right.
it broke me too. It broke me down too much. I was like, I can't. I was taking their mistreatments home with me, and it was more than what I could handle. Um, and it takes a strong person to really take care of people in your field and in your community when they're like, this is just how it is, leave it alone.
Right.
Um,
You got to speak up. You got to take care. You got to do what you know has to be done. Otherwise, it's not going to be done. And they're going to be sitting there in pain and shame and just not
yeah.
knowing
And
what to say.
even when you speak up, you still have to have somebody in the leadership position that's willing to hear you out and advocate for what you're speaking on as well. That's
Absolutely.
usually where the
The void
Can
is.
I
disconnect.
say something
Void.
in that regard?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Um, your question was, as far as people moving productively when they feel maybe hampered.
Hmm.
Um, my job at Covington McGee Christian Counseling as a life coach is providing tools to people who are stuck in certain ruts
Hmm.
and are trying to reach goals and and personal goals or professional goals. And so you, you- a lot it's like what Miss Anita was saying. It's sort of like when uh, from a military standpoint, when people call the VA, and the VA is has a vast amount of information, but if you don't know the questions to ask, you're not going to
Hmm.
get the information that you need.
Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
you know and so it's the same thing like calling Apple or calling any other large corporation. If you don't know the person to talk to, you're not going to get the answer that you need.
Hmm.
So you know so it's having the right person in front of you. So be so the one wonderful thing about the helping position that I'm in as a life
Hmm.
coach,
Hmm.
is when people come to me and say, the first thing I ask them is, "What can I do for you?"
Hmm.
And um, oftentimes, uh, the thing that's hampering them is from way back. Okay,
Hmm.
and so the barrier that often has to be probed and that has to be released in order to get to the goal is a wonderful thing. So, but tools still have to be used in order to get to the goal. So, I think that if that might help answer your question just a little bit better.
Okay, so the you having the right tools and having the right people
And
is
the
one of
right
the
support and the right
Mhm.
support system also.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think a lot of times in our community does not know what resources are available to them, and they don't know who to talk to. And a lot of times the resources are not seeking out who they can help because If they don't know where the help is needed, they don't know where to go and what areas to seek out, as well as the opposite. Those that are in need of help don't know who to seek out. So it is a bottleneck where everybody is saying that they need help, but it's kind of like the hourglass. Once the sand is going in, so it's a few people that know where to go and who to help, and there's another. So by the time it gets down to the bottom, the rest of these people that thought that they were here to help, the time has already surpassed,
Yeah.
and now you're onto a different area that's in need of help. And so we just have to. This is why we need each other. This is why our culture, our communities need each other, and we need to be the voice that says, "I'm here to help." Right.
Absolutely.
And so I'm very honored that you all have taken the time to speak up. So thank you.
Amen.
Um, Miss McGee, Dr. McGee, what would you think? What would be the unwritten rule in your field?
The unwritten rule is that you can't be a strong woman in this society. If you're a strong woman, it feels like in the culture of working, it seems like everyone wants to knock you down. So
Mm,
I always say, lift your head up. I'm a queen. I'm a child of God. God don't make no trash, and I will
Right.
not settle for no trash.
I know
Keep
that's
your
right.
heads up, sisters. Keep your heads up.
Yes,
Amen.
there it is. She been telling me that as long as she done know me.
All right.
Just your crown. Don't accept no mess because God ain't made no mess. I hear that.
There you go. There you go.
Ty, what's your take on that, sir? I know this is still new for you, so I'm just giving you time to think about it. What would you think in your field as a office building manager? What's some of the unwritten rules?
Some of the unwritten rules I could come up with is like sometimes you just got to be honest with your customers, or sometimes you just don't want like when your customers are like coming at you and feeling sad and stuff, and they want stuff for free, but sometimes you have to be a little bit honest with them. That sometimes that I can't help you, but I can guide you to the person who can help you.
There it is.
Excellent.
That right there. People are
Usually
your
that's Dr.
greatest
McGee,
resource.
Dr.
Yes.
McGee, Ron, or at least Ania. I mean, I may be a business officer, but I can lead to the person who can help you.
There you
Hmm.
go.
I
That
may
is
not.
awesome. I used to say that all the time. I say, let me get you to the right person. So I never don't know, but I can find the right person.
There you
Come
go.
on, let's go figure it out together. Um, and that is a strength right there. It's
Yeah.
understanding when you don't have the answers, but you know how to get them to the person that does. Um, so who benefits or loses when those things are being unspoken? So when we don't speak up, who are the people that has to suffer, or who are the people that gain or benefit from us not speaking?
Our customers, I mean, our peers, we all suffer because of this. If we don't get it together and say, hey, like you said, I know if I can't help you, I know who can. So it's a
Hmm.
collective environment that we have to reach out to each other and know that we are not just by ourselves, that we have to share and care and love and just reach out to each other.
Hmm. Anybody else want to answer that before I talk about what some of our Instagram people are leaning in on? No,
What you got, Ron?
I know it was right there on the tip of his tongue. I was seeing it. I seen
Just ready.
it.
Well, I mean, there's so many ways to go with that. I mean, as far as seeking help for yourself, when you feel like you need help, seeking the help when you see someone who but one of the things I was going to say, as far as with resilience, as far as my examples of resilience, is actually seeing the resilience of my parents, seeing the resilience of my brothers, my sisters, my wife, my sons. The seeing resilience of my friends and things. I have so many examples of resilience. Of people making it through. The what is the definition of a resilience? The definition of resilience is to get back up, is to
Hmm.
get back up.
Hmm.
And so as far as the thing that what Martin Luther King has said, that he'll say, what we'll remember is not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. And so if if I didn't if I didn't help one of my friends when they were going through something, then I'm not a good friend. If I didn't do something for myself when I'm doing, when I'm going through something, then I'm not being a good steward of my own self.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, so part of being resilient, when you make it through trials, when you make it through things over and over and over again, it makes you stronger. It makes you
Mm-hmm.
stronger. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying nobody's perfect. I'm not saying, you don't get bumped, bruised, broken a little bit and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, uh, I
It
guess that's
happens.
another unwritten rule.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And because when she said, our peers, I think of internal and external customers. Internal customers, our peers, the people we work with, they suffer when we don't take care of what we need to take care of.
That's
But the people that we're supposed to be servicing, making sure that they get the information that they need. If it's easier because you only have 5 customers a day versus 25 customers in a day, because the less paperwork and you get out of there on time, you get to do what you want to do. But the 25 are really the people that need to be helped. Are we only taking care of ourselves, or are we only, so now it's a balance, because yes, you still have to give yourself time to make sure your mental health is there so you can be able to pour into others as needed. But at the same time, making sure that we are, if we can't do it, sending them out to other businesses that have the opportunity to assist them, right? Reaching out to those other customers that would be our internal customers, our other peers with other businesses that we can say, hey, I can recommend you to this company. They're just as capable to make sure that you can get the help that you need. But that goes back to us learning how to reach out to those resources and see who's available and what we need. But it's
You know, I,
talking to
I wanted
people.
I would like to say, not only is resiliency an individual thing, but like you said, grouping it together, coming together where we cannot, we have to be mindful of everything around us. And that really
Hmm.
helps us to build a resiliency, because if you try to do it yourself, once again, that was my hard lesson, where you try to do it yourself, it's just not going to work as well as if you pull everybody in and say, okay, this is what I need and this is where we can go with this. So I think resiliency is so important when we are mindful of our surroundings and people around us too, and their needs, not only our needs but their needs too.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know that we have Brandon over here on Instagram side. He was saying that some of the things he realizes that a real man protects, provides, and leads, but never loses himself in doing it. And he said that as men, their emotions matter, but don't hand them to people who would weaponize it. And so I think he was talking about things that he learned the hard way and how it shaped his thinking, is I think where he was speaking on that. And I think when we are talking about our men in our community that don't get the appreciation or being able to listen to them speak on their mental health, the struggles that they go through because they were taught men don't cry, men don't express feelings. Because you were taught to protect and provide and to lead. And there, if
Hmm.
you are to
Absolutely.
cry or to show emotion, then it is a sign of weakness. So being able to show that there is always balance in everything, and to still appreciate our men in our community and show them that it is okay for them to be who they are, and to still show that, hey, I'm human and I have these feelings and these thoughts and I need help in this area, or I need support in this area. Go ahead, Dr. McKee.
All right. So, I'm one of those victims of that.
Hmm.
So I myself, I have a hard time. I don't cry. I,
Hmm.
I I can empathize with people, I can sympathize with them. But the unwritten rule and was our grandmother used to put us in the corner and when we was kids, and she would put a dunce hat on us and she would whip us if we cried.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
I struggle with that every day. It's some days I would love to cry, but it doesn't come out.
Mm.
So I say to anyone that is going through something like this, I say continue to um, work on your emotions See someone if you have to, but work on your emotions. You may not display them in a cheerful way, but I think for me now is to go back and start thinking, why did this happen? How did this happen? And so men, they not only men have this hard time, but women have it too. So I have to look back and see what happened to make me be so, I guess, cold, stone cold. And I
Mm-hmm.
realized it was my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
So we always go from back here. But one of the
Mm-hmm.
things I keep saying, and I say to my people, when you go back here, you can never, like Lot's wife. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
because she looked back that she turned into a pillar of salt. When you look back, you can prioritize your past instead of your presence.
Mm-hmm.
And so we want
Yeah,
to keep walking forward. So that's my biggest thing I want everyone to know is to continue walking forward. If it's hard for you to cry, maybe you might want to take deep breaths. You might want to, do other things that'll help you be able to get that release out.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of times that's why they work out. That's why they do video games. That's why, whatever their vice is, so to speak. Because then they have to figure out another way to deal with those emotions.
absolutely.
And I am honored whenever I hear so for example, I had well, let me do one thing first. When you said that, Dr. McGee, it made me think about when you're driving, you have the front windshield that is bigger than everything else that's in front of you, and yet your rearview mirror is only but so big. Even your side view mirror says things may appear closer. There's
Mhm.
always something that is different. It's smaller on the sides and here. But everything else in front of you is so much larger. So if you only focus on looking in your rear view mirror, you're going to cause an accident. If you're only looking on your side mirrors, you're going to cause an accident. Be cognitive of where you're looking so that you are not causing an accident for yourself and for those around you. How are you hurting the other people around you because you are so focused
Absolutely.
on your left, your right, and the things behind you?
Perfect
Um,
analogy.
then the other one, I was going to say, I had a gentleman that texted me earlier today. I went on a date with him, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 months ago, something. Anyways, we went out, and then when I got there, the place we were going to go to was packed. So then I said, well, let's go somewhere else. You want me to drive you to your car? He said, oh, I don't have a car.
Did you clutch your
Sir,
pearls?
sir. Then I had to drive him home, and then I was like, oh no, his living environment was just not up to my standards. And so then today
Wow,
he
you
texted
drove him
me.
home? That's
I
dangerous, Quita.
did. I did. I drove him home. I dropped him off, and he was like, "Would you like to come upstairs?" I would not. Thank you, though. But um, what he told me today, he said, "I appreciate the hard love that you gave me that day. You didn't even give me a kiss goodbye. You hugged me on the side in the car. I didn't even get out the car, sir. You have a good night." It wasn't anything hard. I told him, I said, I just think that you have some growing and some developing to do. I'm just not the caliber of woman that maybe you need to be dealing with at this level in your life. I wasn't ugly about it. I just told him, I said, I just hope you find what you're in need of. Right now, I just don't think that I'm it. But I mean, months later, he just told me, he said, because of that, it pushed me to really become the man that you told me I was supposed to have been. And at that level, you told me I was not it. That was not it. And I
Hmm.
think because in our culture, we don't teach that, or we don't know how to give hard love, but strong love, and still say, you're an amazing person. But at this level, this is not where you are called to be. You need to see
Absolutely.
yourself higher and take yourself to a different level, because you are to become, as a man, as a strong individual that God has created you to be, the godship that dwells within. This is not showing who he is. You are not showing the representation of who he is. So come up and walk in your kingdom, in your kingship. And
Hmm.
today really was a eye opener to say, thank you for what you did. That showed me where I need to be. I'm finally getting me a place of my own. I'm getting a vehicle, and I want to thank you for that. I said, well,
Resiliency. You taught him some
What?
resiliency. Yes. Yes.
Well,
Resiliency.
he's a king. He's a child of God. God don't make no trash, and he would not settle for none.
Yeah.
All
My
right.
God.
Quita, can I say something
yes.
about the young gentleman who sent something in on IG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and also, what every individual needs a safe space in order to
Mm-hmm.
express their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Just like he said, um, a man or a young man needs a safe space to express their emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Mel,
Mm-hmm.
if ever Mel ever wanted to release a huge cry,
Mm-hmm.
she needs a safe space to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, uh, one of the things that we're proud of at our company, at our business, is we partner with licensed therapists. We're a bridge for licensed therapists for our customers, uh, for who have deep issues. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because like for instance, I'm a life coach.
Mm-hmm.
As a life coach, I can't, I can't deal with patients with serious mental issues. I can't deal with those type of patients.
Mm-hmm.
But, like a patient with serious depression, I, I basically have to recommend therapy to that patient.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but th- those type of issues, basically have to be bridged to those type of. So I'm so happy that we have that type of care there.
Mm-hmm.
But you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You got to be able, like you said, to say, "Hey, I can only take you this far. Now let me recommend you to maybe talking to an actual therapist that can get you where you need to be for your healing to start." Especially when it comes from a level of trauma, and then that trauma has to be really unpacked and unrooted, uprooted in order to, because just like, there's trees that get roots and they have thicker roots, and there's some weeds that have thick roots too. And you like, them weeds got to go. They eating
Yeah.
up all the nutrients for my tree, for the things
Yeah.
that are in need of it, right? And so when you go to therapy, I tell people therapy is not a bad thing. I went through multiple years of therapy, but it helped me to unpack the things that needed to be unpacked, and really to uproot the things that was taking a lot of energy from me that did not deserve my energy.
Hmm.
So I was not able to grow and develop into the woman that I was supposed to be until I got rid of the things in my life that was holding me back.
I
And
think
so,
the major thing that I see from people
mhm.
is they just didn't expect life to be as hard as it is, as it was. They get to a certain point in their life and they're just like, God, dog, I didn't expect it to be this dang on hard.
I know, I
And
know.
that's when resiliency will need it is really needed because like you said, for this young man who came out and was honest with you and came back and said, now here I am now. You helped him develop that resiliency that he needed.
Mhm,
Where if someone wasn't honest with him,
mhm,
Mhm.
he never would have made those changes in his life. So I mean, that's a good example of being honest and helping someone do the right thing, and you did the right thing and being
Mhm.
honest with him. You let him down very calmly, nicely, but yet he recognized that, and that's really something that's really important in our lives because Black men of color, just don't have that representation to really communicate and to say things to each other. Or, there's a show out here in Austin where Black men, fathers, single fathers, men get
Mhm.
together and they talk, and that is so needed because they don't have the opportunity to share those things and share the fears that they have. And, as Ron and, Ty both are can say to us, they know how they feel being in this community, but we only know how we see it from afar. So, I mean, I think
Mhm.
that's something that we really need to be mindful of. My mindfulness is, the mental health that's out there right now is so severe, and we have to be totally mindful of what we are experiencing each and every day. Because of
Mhm.
that, we can help each other.
Right.
And one of the things is when I first started, it was just me by myself. So I gathered up my team here, And so me and Anita will be seeing men, but we don't know how a man feels. We don't know how a man feels. So that's when we had to really depend on Ron, because Ron knows how a man feels. I
Mm-hmm.
can't talk to a man about his manhood. We can advise, but would they really listen like they would with Ron?
Right. Right.
You know.
I think that's beneficial. Brendan over here on IG, he said when he lost his safe space in 2015 when he lost his grandmother. So when his grandmother passed, he said he felt a huge shift in the difference once she left and she got her wings. And I think because in our community, there's always one person that people feel they can go to be transparent and open and honest about everything they're going through. And then after that person is no longer available, then they go into their shell. Because then, once they date, usually I try and make it my personal business whenever I'm in relationship to say, hey, this is a safe space. Even in my friendships, if you need to call and cry and vent, call and let me know. Like, Quita, I don't really want you to talk. I just want you to vent. Okay, I got you. Whatever you need to do. And then afterwards, I say, well, do you want any, advice? Do you want me to do anything? Well, what do you think about this? Then I try not to jump in there and be like, well, did you think about this? And have you considered that? And because most of the time, a lot of people don't need that. They just want to get somebody to
Hear
hear
you.
their heart
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
to empathize and to say, I'm here for you. And,
Yeah.
I'm sorry you're going through that. I'm sorry you're feeling that way. Is there anything else you would like for me to say or do? Because now you have given me permission to advise. I don't like to just jump in there and automatically do it because a lot of times people don't need it. They just want to know that you're there.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You're
Yeah, I can give you
absolutely
a
right.
good example. I was in the grocery store a couple of weeks ago, and I saw this real tall black guy, and he was just looking in the aisle and looking up. And I said to him, I said, "Baby," I said, "what's wrong?" I said, "You look like you're just, like in a deep, deep thought." And he goes, "No," he said, "Today would have been my mother's birthday," and he
Mm.
said, "I just can't stop thinking about her." He said, "We would go to the grocery store, and I said, I understand." And I said, "Can I give you a hug?" And he said,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave him a hug, and he
Mm-hmm.
said, and he just busted out crying in HEB.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I can't believe I'm in HEB crying," And I said, "That's
Mm-hmm.
okay." I said, "It is
Yeah.
okay. Just know
Good.
that somebody is here and your mother knows that you love her." And he
Mm-hmm.
just like, we stood there and he just bawled. And it was
Mm-hmm.
just his outlet, it was just like, okay. And he said, "I just can't believe you saw my pain."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
That's that empath thing. That empath. I know. That happened to me the other day. I went to go to karaoke and the girl was just sitting there. I said, "You okay?" And she was just, "Life is hard." And now we are at a bar at karaoke. And I said, "Well, can I just pray for you real quick?" And she said, "Right now? Right here?" I said, "Yeah, girl." I grabbed her hand and prayed with her, held her close and prayed in her ear. And then I let her go and he was like, "I can't be crying in here." Because he got a I said, "Girl, you better go and let them tears happen." As soon as I
Right.
said that, another girl turned around and she just went into it. She's like, "You know why God wants you to cry?" And then she kept on crying. She said, "Every tear that you shed is God is taking those tears and He is bottling it up to go
That's
ahead and
it.
make it into something beautiful."
There you
I
go.
said,
Yeah.
"He used me to start it, but this right here was ordained, honey. You had to come up here
Mhm.
because somebody
That's
had to."
it.
So guess what, Miss Anita, you had to be at the grocery store because God wanted you to be there to go ahead and hug that young man. Because guess what, his mama said, "Somebody hug my baby."
There she did. Yes, she did. Yes, he did. He
Exactly.
was like 6'2".
Exactly.
Here I am, me, 5'2", hugging in the aisle of HEB. So yeah, I mean, that's what
Yes.
we're here for. I mean, when we see someone in pain, I can't
Mhm.
do it. I mean, I'm going to reach out to them and I'm going to touch them and just say, because this is what we have to do for each other, because we are walking through this world just not knowing what tomorrow is going to bring. And we don't
Mhm.
have to even imagine what we're going through in this life. We just have to be able to be there for each other.
Right. I wanted to jump right into kind of what's going on here in Texas with the
Yeah.
flooding and how that has affected our community as a whole. Um, whenever you're thinking about um, how it has affected us with the flooding and the climatic change. How do you think that's affecting our communities and the fields that we work in right now? And mentally, spiritually, emotionally, um, and anybody can jump in on that one.
I I would like to say, I've been following this unfortunate thing up in Kerrville very deeply, and I don't know some of the not only in Kerrville but also in Austin, Travis County, where a young black kid was drowned. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we don't even see that on the news as much as we see the others that are here.
Mm-hmm.
He was a saxophone player and very 17 years old.
Wow.
But I think I'm just fearful of the mental health and what the message is being sent. And I can even go deeper because this is not the time to really say what if, but we have to say what if. And this is where I want to say becoming responsible for each other and not making ourselves the lone person, but also realizing that our politicians out there are making it really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to go there, and
Right.
where I have been reading something last night where Dallas Tribune recognized that they had money to, build these alarm systems and they chose not to. They
Mm-hmm.
turned down $7 million plus because it came from the Biden administration. And I know
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't help us, but these babies died because we as people didn't care enough except for the bottom dollar. And
Mm-hmm.
this is where we have to change our whole way of thinking. I know for us, in people of color, we recognize the value of money. We work hard for our, and we have been denied our value of our money. And because of that, it's just really hard to sit back and say, we can't think about this right now, but we have to protect each other. And we
Mm-hmm.
have to go forward and say, hey, we're just not going to sit back and allow this to happen anymore. And we can't.
Mm-hmm. Right. We can't. And because it's hurting not just those that aren't, but the families, the
Yeah.
friends that are connected with those that were lost, the people that lost their homes that can't afford to buy new homes, the people that don't have the money to buy new food, they don't know where to go to get the food. They were turned away because of their color, um, their income status. It's just it's very disheartening to
Very
see.
hard. Yeah. Very.
Yeah. If I can say anything, um, uh, get back to the subject of resilience, as far as
Hmm.
the ability to get back up.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, we made it through yesterday. We're here today. We'll make it through tomorrow. Now, as far as what Miss Anita was saying, I agree with what she was saying. What we can do is make sure that we make sure we get out to the ballot, the vote. Make sure we're informed on the ballots, and make sure
Hmm.
we're informed on the ballot of the politicians and everything. Make sure we're informed on what's on the ballot. Um, and also make sure we can we're informed on weather and everything like that, as much as we can on meteorology and all that and everything, and also stay prayed up. Okay.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Now, I can tell you, the Lord never promised that He wouldn't send the challenges our way. He never
Hmm.
promised that, but He did. He always promised He'd be here with us. Thank God, and
Hmm.
so and thank God I'm looking at all of y'all beautiful shining faces right now. I tell you right now, it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. And so apparently y'all made it through the storm, and
Hmm.
so thank God for that. And so um, resilience says, let's just continue to get back up. Continue to get back up as far as what's going on, and to everyone out there, everyone looking at the video and everything. Um, you know, um, don't let what hasn't come already beat you. How can it?
Mm.
Hasn't come yet. So,
Gotta keep that faith, and like you said,
Yeah.
God has said, be still, be quiet, and we done that, and now we just have to grieve for the family members. And I know the mental health that's needed out there is going to be the most surmountable thing. Resilience, the grit that's out there, for the volunteers who are out there seeking and searching for lost souls. It's just unbelievable. And
Mm-hmm.
so for us, the prayers are needed, but the knowing that these people and the people around them are going to need the mental health care that they are hopefully will reach out for and know that people are out here to help them.
Mm-hmm.
There are a
Absolutely.
lot of grants right now that will help. But I always say that if there's anyone that is listening or anyone that is, um, they have any type of question or any type of pain, I would suggest that you call our office and we can make sure that someone that you are heard. I would rather for you to be heard and to be not heard.
Yep.
I've
Mm-hmm.
heard of, unfortunately, I've heard of suicide today. So
Mm-hmm.
suicide is very much prominent, and it's prominent around the world. So one of the things is that, with that being said, if there's anyone that needs comfort, that needs guidance, please reach out. Reach
Mm-hmm.
out. You don't have to give your name, but just reach out. One of our people will talk to you, or even myself. But we would rather that you reach out before you even attempt to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things is that God is so merciful, and I want you to know this. God is so merciful. He is such a amazing God. Sometimes we're going to go through trials. Sometimes we're going to go through tribulations. But if we keep walking and we don't stay back here, like I said, it wasn't because of Lot's wife that she turned around and she looked and she turned into a pillar of salt. It's because she was prioritizing her past instead of her presence. So if you keep
Mm-hmm.
walking, this the though we walk through the what? The valley of the
Valley of the
shadow of
shadow,
Shadow
death.
of death, and
we
you
will
fear
But it
fear.
no
said
evil.
we walked.
That's
It
it.
didn't say
Mm-hmm.
we stopped. So keep walking. That's
Hmm.
my advice.
Mm-mm. Baby, you ain't gotta walk. Now, you said they can call your office. Do you want to give them the number that they can call your office? Or,
Four eight
what's,
zero
480, I'm sorry.
618 7803.
One more time.
I'm going to make sure my number's right. I better make sure it's right. Okay, hold on. Okay, 480 618 7803.
And the crisis hotline is there. The suicide hotline is listed, and like she said, just reach out. Don't even think. Don't suffer in silence, because you are just making pain for yourself. That someone's wanting to help. Someone knows you're in pain, and we can help, and we can direct you to whoever we need to get you to, and in that moment.
Yes,
Mhm.
we even have a psychiatrist now as well.
Oh,
She's out of Houston. So we have a psychiatrist, we got a nurse, we got a doctor, and we got Ron as well, is the life coach. So you're a pretty field.
yeah.
exactly. So it's not just about the negative things. It's also about the positive things also. So I'm
Mhm.
also there to help you get over the hump. If you're trying to get that job, if you're trying to, you know, if you get trying to, you got those little barriers in your career, and you maybe have those things that are just, you got that ceiling that you're trying to reach or something like that, and you maybe
Mhm.
have something that maybe it's in your mind, you think maybe you need tweaking or something like that, maybe you want to talk about, I'm here for you. I'm here for it.
Resilience, resilience.
Look at that. Look at that. Y'all already doing it. Y'all didn't need me. No, just kidding.
Oh yeah, we need.
So last question of the evening, last question. What emotional labor comes with constantly navigating invisible expectation? What emotional trauma, labor, hardships, what emotional hardships come along with always having to navigate invisible expectations? Ty, come on, I seen it. You were ready.
So I was I have I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Ron, ladies first. Dr. McGee.
But let me help him out. I know for me, mental exhaustion,
Hmm.
trying to be there, working beyond the needs of what I can give myself and not recognizing until it's too late. So mental exhaustion is very much, lack of sleep, all those things that come into, exhausting yourself. And without sleep, the proper mental health for yourself, and it's just something that we have to take care of ourselves first. You can't help somebody if you can't help yourself. So
Hmm.
that's number one rule should be, we need to really help each other to, recognize when we're going through something and say, hey, this is too much. Can you do this? So reaching out to each one of us and just, coordinating our care, our self care. Self care is it, number one.
Absolutely.
I think for me is trying to prioritize everything. I don't like getting up early in the morning. I think
I know. I know.
I'm not a morning person, y'all. Catch me at 10. Okay. I'll give you the shirt off my back, but catch me at 10.
At 10.
Okay, 10. 10 and have my coffee ready. That's what you do. But I think, just like Anita was saying, um, just trying to get the proper balance of eating, sleeping, rest, prioritizing. For me, I have a hard time prioritizing things now. I guess because with getting older and everything, I have a hard time trying to prioritize what I should do next because my phone is nonstop. I'm on Telegram. I'm on all these different communications. And so I have to learn to set my phone in the other room.
Mm,
And so sometimes it's just being by yourself,
mm-hmm,
isolating yourself for just that moment to catch your breath again.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What you got, Ron?
Well, I think I've always been good at giving advice. And so now that I've decided to do it professionally, um, I often have to pull back at giving my advice. So,
That sound like you, Ron.
That's the honest truth right there. I love it. Somebody said okay for truth. Dr. JC said okay for truth.
you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think we're a couple of us are guilty of that, Ron. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of emotionally taxing. You know what I'm saying?
That's why we're all together. See, we're all guilty of that one. We let it free flow.
I love the transparency right there. That was honest right there. I mean, it took some work. It took some work because then I
Yeah.
had to be like, "Well, did you try?" Oh well, never mind. They'd be like, "What?" I'd be like, "Nothing. You didn't ask my opinion. I'm sorry. I was getting ready to offer it without your." Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just bust us out, Ron. Just bust us out. Go ahead. We'll accept it. We'll accept it.
All right, Ty. What's the emotional taxing? Emotionally, what comes along with trying to navigate the with the invisible expectations?
Well, invisible expectations. Sometimes you don't want to. Sometimes when you like working with people, like you want to get. Sometimes talking to customers. Sometimes like sometimes you gotta be patient with the customer. Sometimes they don't call back, and sometimes
Mhm.
they call back a day or two and said, "Wait, I still need to pay my invoice." You just gotta be patient with some people. We're still human, and sometimes humans are flawed and are not always the greatest. Or at least I should be expecting more from them, but I should at least be patient with my customers. Some that are going through divorce right now. Some that are having a hard time are having depression of their marriage, and I just have to be patient with them. Sometimes they don't pay the invoice in time, but we still give them a chance to do it. So I have to be patient with my customers every now and then.
Good.
He
One
is
example
very
I wanted to
patient.
give real quick is whenever I used to teach process improvement, one of the stories I used to tell them was um, whenever you are passing people in the hallway and they got this frown, their faces all balled up, they got an attitude, they walking around, and you're like, here they go with their messed up face. But at the same time, that could be them coping with the emotional turmoil of whatever they just heard. They don't know how to deal with it. They're angry. They might have got a bad report from the doctor. Their child might be acting out. They got another child in jail. You never know. They just got evicted out their apartment. They living out their car. You have no idea what people
None.
are dealing with in their heads, and what they're dealing with in their heart. Just like that young gentleman who lost his mother, he's dealing with the grief of losing his mother. My friend Brandon over here is dealing with losing his grandmother. People are losing family members back to back, and these are the people that held their arms up. And now when they lose that, they feel like, what am I supposed to do now that I'm having this hardship in my life? I have no one else I can depend on, I can lean on. And so this is truly, remember that who you pass by, you never know what they're dealing with. Be the
Amen.
person that gives them a reason to smile again. Or at least be the person that when they pass by, they're like, here we go, another person that automatically thinks that I have an attitude when they're not trying to take the time out to get to know what's going on with me. Um,
Amen.
I was
I
in
have an
Colorado when all of that
acronym for that.
Columbine stuff happened. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I, I'm an acronym person, so I got another one for y'all.
Uh-oh, come on, come on.
VFL.
Okay.
Believe who people say they are.
All
Okay.
right. Now,
Have faith that God will prevail and change the heart condition when necessary. We don't change hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Love for your brother, sister in Christ. Love for God's kingdom will keep you pure. That's all we need to know about people.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, somebody.
Okay. Believe, faith, and what you say, and love. Believe, faith, and love. It's something you got to do something. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, I was there during that Columbine situation. So then I start thinking, have I been good to these people around me? Because I don't know what they doing
Oh, my goodness.
with. Right?
Mhm.
Because now you're looking at all of the unaliving that's happening worldwide, all because somebody said somebody treated them indifferent, or they
Yes.
didn't talk to them nicely, or they looked at them a certain way. And it's because people haven't learned how to hear the word no, or they have not learned how to deal with um, everybody not giving them their way. Uh, and
right.
so that goes back to the trauma from childhood. People just saying, okay, sure, give them what they want because I don't want to have to hear their mouth or deal with them or whatever. So they just give them everything. So then the one person that tells them no or says, I'm not going to let you have your way, then those are the people that suffer the repercussions. Um,
And here we are now facing the worst immigration and people thinking that, everyone's a secondhand, second class citizen and
Citizen.
everybody's feeling a certain way. So there's a lot of things out there that we're dealing with today's world and it's just really, really hard. We just have
Hmm.
to be able to recognize that everybody we pass by is going through something each and every day.
Hmm. Yeah. People
Amen.
are losing friends. They're losing to immigration. They're losing workers. Now farmers can't
Family.
get out crops fast enough. They're losing crops. Grocery stores don't have what they need. Restaurants don't have what they need. Businesses can't feed these people that are at their hotels or whatever. Go down the line because our farmers are important. And guess what? The people that are doing the things that a lot of people are saying, I'm not working for $5 an hour. It's somebody else that's like, I'll take it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Resiliency is being tested for sure.
Man. And now this country is going through a big test of their resiliency because
Yes,
of the
Yes.
decisions that they are making.
Yes.
absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
I know across the world, they may or may not deal with it on the same scale, but it is being tested all over the world when it comes to diseases and vaccines and immigration. It is so many things that's going on that we see only a sliver of it, because of what our government allows us to see, and then what our people are able to talk about because they're afraid of being ostracized, because they speak on
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
And so just be encouraged to share and help each and every person that you come in contact with. Like I said, you never know who is going through what. And a lot of times, in my studies, realizing that as a sociologist, realizing that people walk with a smile but have
Mhm.
a lot of tears that they cry
Man,
internally,
yes, what a pain.
but they wear the
Yeah.
mask of a smile to hide it because they want to make sure and help the next person. They don't want the person to feel the things that they feel.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to say that, to say, be encouraged. Remember that you have people like Dr. McGee, Miss Anita Kelly, Mr. Ron Collins that are out there willing to help you during those hard times. Mr. Ty McGee gonna make sure that you get your invoices when you need them. Gonna get you scheduled if you need it. Right? Because these are the people that are making a difference in the community just for people like you. And even if you are not in the San Antonio area, but still want to speak with them, I'm sure that they have virtual options available for you. So
Yes.
just reach out to the number once again, Dr. McGee, or someone that has the number. Can you put it out there one more time?
480-618-7803.
All righty. Yes. So you got people that are ready to assist you. I know that someone else, Brennan, said mental exhaustion leads to a person out here just existing and drifting. So there's a lot of people
Mm.
that are drifting, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And he said rather than them living and thriving. And so that is where your um, your therapy, your life coaches, your medical personnel come into play to really help you to thrive and to live your life to the fullness
Absolutely.
thereof. All right. So I know we out of time. I have already went over my time. I am so grateful that you all have taken time out to join us. Thank you to my panelists who have given their time. I know I kept y'all on here a good whole hour, but
Well, thank you for
it's
inviting us to
always
your
like
show.
What you say, Ty?
I said, well, thank you for inviting us to your show. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was
Yes.
Yes.
wonderful.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. I know that this is about giving the resiliency tools so people can bounce back from the hardships of life. Nobody said that adulting was easy when we were younger. We just thought that adulting was fun until we got in this thing.
Mhm.
And that thing was like, oh my.
Yeah, right.
If I had to do it all over again, do you see my claws in the doorway of my parents' home? It's like, no, no.
Um,
That part.
you see, my pen is a my pen is a cane.
Ty, you don't have to
Man,
worry about that right now. So
Yeah,
right.
no, I'm still young.
There
I
you
know.
go. Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Right.
Learn from
Enjoy.
us.
I'll do my
Enjoy.
best.
Yes.
Hey, take your time. Take your time, Ty.
Okay.
Please do, because then you be up here. I think after that, I'm the youngest, and I'm like in the 40s, and I'm like, I still gotta. What are we eating? I gotta cook. Oh Lord,
You so spoiled, baby.
I still gotta cook. I gotta clean. I need some help. Send me,
I just say
Lord,
you
send
got
my
to change the
helpers.
debate.
Send them
You got
down,
to
Lord.
change the
I'm
debate
ready.
cover.
Oh my goodness.
So if it was something that we said that you felt was good, please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more teaching like this. We do this every second and fourth Monday of the month. because resiliency doesn't stop, so we can't either. That has been my assignment, is to make sure that people get love, joy, peace, and happiness, all while learning and getting the knowledge and the skills that they need in order to be a more successful you in your future. So make sure, if y'all can let people know how they can follow you, if they want to get a hold of you, they want to follow any of your social media. I don't know if you all feel or have those available, but if there's social media available for them to follow you, to learn if you have, word of the day or anything like that, how can they follow you?
I'm old school. Follow me, I guess, on Psychology Today. You can look me
Okay.
up. I'm old
Okay.
You
school.
know
I don't
what?
have all this stuff.
I was
You can
supposed to
also
have
reach
mine
us on
ready. I don't even have mine ready. My fault.
they can also
Okay.
reach us on Telegram, right? Isn't that right, Dr. McGee? Telegram. They can reach us on Telegram.
No.
No.
Telegram is for us, so no.
Okay.
See that she was like, "What is Telegram?"
You see,
So
I'm like, what's that?
no. But it's basically calling our office, or I'm on Psychology Today.
Yes.
Dr. Mel McGee.
Okay.
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 I'm old school. I don't.
We
Y'all
don't
got
make
to
it
hook me up with
difficult.
all that other stuff.
We don't
That
make it
worked.
difficult.
That worked.
All righty.
Okay. So if so, I ask all of the rest of you, our audience, thank you again for hanging on. If you made it all the way through an hour and 11 minutes, you are the real MVP. um, I want to make sure that you come back on the 28th of July, where we'll do part 2 of Unwritten Rules. Unwritten Rules may or may not have a guest speaker. I'm still waiting for verification. But part 2 will be on the 28th of July. Same time, same space with the same face. I love, thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Love, joy, peace, and happiness. I pray back unto you until we speak again. See you then. Y'all have a good
Peace. Thank
night.
you.
God
Bye-bye.
bless.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
All right, guys.
Mm-mm. Sully, you got it?
Thank you,
I
Miss
think he's
Quita.
running it.
Huh?
Nope.
In a world that's always evolving, where challenges come at the speed of change, resilience isn't just a buzzword, it's the foundation for growth and success. Welcome to Real Resilient Conversations.
Every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we bring you transformative discussions designed to build strength through dialogue. Whether you're a leader aiming to inspire, a team striving to collaborate, or an individual professional seeking growth, Real Resilient Conversations is your guide to thriving in today's dynamic environment.
Our mission is clear: foster emotional resilience, cultivate transparent communication, and empower businesses to adapt with confidence. Through our resilient leadership coaching, we don't just talk about resilience, we live it, lead it, and help you achieve it. When resilience becomes part of your culture, every challenge is an opportunity, every setback a lesson, and every team member a leader in their own right.
Real Resilient Conversations isn't just a show, it's a movement, a mindset, and a community dedicated to helping you and your organization thrive. Tune in every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and see the difference resilience makes. Be part of the movement and join the conversation live. Watch us on Twitch, Real Resilient Convos. Follow us on Facebook, Real Resilient Conversations with Quita. Get inspired on Instagram at Real Resilient Conversations. Catch our videos on YouTube at Real